This is a vintage Royce CB base station. It's probably from the 70s. It's only 23 channel. They switched to 40 channels, I believe, in the 70s. Everything works on it. I had to double check the listing because I usually clean little paint chips or paint splatters off of these, but I didn't on this one, and that's the way I listed it. A little bit worn, but it does work. I have a car-mounted CB antenna that I can use to test these with. And this took quite a while to sell, probably about 6 months, but it sold for $40. As with many items, I had high hopes for this hunting coat. It's an LL Bean, made in America. Nice canvas hunting overcoat. And I had this priced at $40. I had it quite a while. Finally took a $30 offer on it. This is an original mousetrap game from 1963. I found it at an estate sale for $4. It was taped shut, so I couldn't check the contents. But I know these are worth some money when they're complete. Unfortunately, this wasn't. It's got quite a few of the parts, but not quite all of them. So I decided to part it out, and the first thing to sell was the original bowling ball part of the game. This right here, and that sold for $8. Another pair of Lacaze boots. These are odd size. They're men's 9 narrow A. So they've been in my inventory for quite a while. Finally took a $60 offer on them. Whenever I see old hardware still in the box at a thrift store, I usually buy it. And there were a couple of these Huffy roof brackets for a basketball backboard. There's a couple of these at a thrift store for $1 each, so I picked them up. Priced them at $30, and finally got an offer after about 6 months. Somebody offered me $20, so I accepted the offer, and you know, the phone did its cha-ching thing. And then it did it again, and it was for the backboard again, same buyer, and he paid full price. And the one that had the $20 offer, he hasn't paid. So I'm just going to ship this off, and you know, maybe he's embarrassed that he messed up the offer and purchase thing. When I first saw this, it's a clock. I thought it was a Gruen Curvex, or a replica of a Gruen Curvex. It was at a garage sale, just $4, so I bought it. When I got it home, I noticed it's not a Gruen. It's a, whatever that is, Grenade, which is something I'm sure was just made up. But it's made to look like a watch, a wristwatch. It looks just like a Gruen Curvex. So I put that in the title along with its actual name, and made sure people were aware that it's not a Gruen. And I priced it at $60. It took about a year to sell, but I got full price for it. This is a pair of anchor bolts for a Hammond organ tone wheel. And if you remember, I tore apart a Hammond M3 organ. I've been selling the parts off. And even just these bolts went for $10. This is a Starbucks mug. Kuwait, celebrating the city of Kuwait. And I used to do a lot of Starbucks mugs when I first started full-time on eBay. It was whatever I was reading, everyone talked about the Starbucks mugs. And I made some money off some, but I think I still have some Starbucks mugs in my inventory from 2013 that haven't sold yet. But this one I found a few weeks ago for $2 at the Savers, as a matter of fact. And it sold for $30. This is a 2-pack of Memorex cassette tapes, rather long ones, 110 minutes each, and they are high bias. But I've had these for quite a while. Finally got somebody to buy them for $10, and they're going to Norway, and it's costing them almost $14 to have them shipped. This is a pair of Pioneer speakers. They're model CS77A. They're highly regarded from the 70s. I had to do some refoaming on the tweeters on these, but that's something I'm able to do. And they actually sold last fall, So I went and had them packaged up by a packaging store. And then the guy didn't pay, so I just stored them in my garage. And then they sold again last week. I decided to take a look at the packaging job that was done, and it was horrible. Just some styrofoam peanuts were used as insulation and a cardboard box. So I repackaged them and lined the sides of the box with sheets of styrofoam and shipped them off. I took a best offer of $300 for these. This is a little HO Dodge Superbird. Actually Plymouth. Get my stock car brand names correct. And I've had this for over a year. I bought a number of small HO slot cars. I've sold most of them. This was the last one. And I had a guy kept offering me $10, $12 for it. And he finally wore me down, and I accepted a $15 offer for it. This is what's called an idler wheel. That's off of a Webcore reel-to-reel tape deck that was given to me. It was on Craigslist free. So I went and picked it up, and it wasn't worth trying to fix. So I parted it out, and I knew this would become, or would be something somebody would need as they wear out. This rubber edge often gets cracked with age. This one's in good shape, and this sold for $20. More HO gauge train cars. I just put these up yesterday. These are made by KD. Apparently they're a little bit more desirable. These actually, when they were new, were almost $30. And they're 40-foot box cars. And I put them up for sale for $60. And like I said, they sold within a day. This is a pair of Allen Edmond shoes. These are Princeton's. They're sort of a suede with leather and tassels. I got these for $4 at a thrift store, and they sold for $60. This is a pipe arc. Holds 24 pipes, a couple of humidors. I got this at an auction for just a few dollars, and it sold for $60. Another Rolodex sold. This is the smaller cards. It does have all the index cards. I had this one for a very long time. A couple times I thought about just deleting it from my eBay listings and redonating it back, but I have sold these before, and so after about 3 years, this finally sold for $30. And another speaker terminal from the Marantz amplifier sold, and this sold for $20. I sold this operating manual for this Panasonic radio for $30. I priced it that high because this particular radio, the RF2200BS, is highly sought after. So I knew eventually somebody would want to pay up for the original copy of the instructions. And again, this just came along with a bunch of stereo equipment from years ago. I'm still sorting through some of it, getting it up for sale. It's probably been up for a couple of months. Again, it sold for $30. This Boston Celtics hat is a wool hat in the baseball or trucker style, snap back. I've had this forever. It's 100% wool, so I thought it would sell for $30, but I finally took a best offer of $18 for it. This is what I thought was a promo model. It's got it's a '63 Ford Galaxy. It's got the features embossed on the bottom, but due to the avid following of these promotional cars, someone informed me that this was sort of a Frankenstein. They never made a '63 Ford Galaxy promo, but somebody made one up out of some parts. And even though it's not a true promo model, it did sell for $125. This is the last of the speaker components to come out of those cabinets that I got on the curb and turned into my cat's playhouse. And this one is the last of them. That's the one of the woofers, and it sold for $30. A couple more built models from the hobby pipeline I've established. This is a 1955 Ford F100, and this is a 1960 Comet. The little emblem ornament broke off here, but it's was kept in a little plastic bag inside. And the 1960 Comet sold for $55. These both went to the same buyer. Car restoration season is upon us. This is a battery insulator. Let's see the insulation material from a 1974 to 78 Mustang II. And the auto parts pipeline has been cruising along quite nicely. And this little battery insulator sold for $60. A while ago, I sold some a lot of 8mm movies that came in this case. I decided to sell the case separate because I think it's just a Ansco camera case. And hard to hold one-handed, but these little camera cases, if they're unique, can sell for some good money. This one was not anything special, so I just priced it at $20, and it took a few weeks, but it sold. This is a Sony Discman. Came in a box lot, don't have any money in it. Came with this little case and the cassette adapter for your car. And this sold for $30. This is another pair of vintage speakers. These are Sansui. SPX 9700 is the model number. I got these at the auction. Nobody was seriously bidding against me. I got them for like $20. And they came in the original boxes. So when I finally got them listed, they took about, maybe about 3 weeks to sell. And they're going to Australia. I sold them for $800. They are in very nice shape. I'm always attracted to things like this at a garage sale. This is a unused doorbell. The Troubadour chime, sold by Montgomery Wards. Never installed, probably part of a remodel project, and they never put in the new doorbell. I've got the original receipt. I don't see a date. Oh, there's the date. 1976. $5. And this sold for $40.